time has come for the debate to be met and settled because, as everyone knows, the greatest car in the history of modern man, and certainly the most iconic of all time, is the 1969 Dodge Charger, the true star of the Dukes of Hazzard TV series and the crafting of steel and upholstery that spelled muscle car more than any other. As we dial up in speed into the discussion, you can dial us up, get on the line, add your 2 cents worth on this and other issues. We have more. 1-877 Newsmax. Here comes the ride. We certainly have additional serious matters to discuss, but let us begin there. Welcome back, the master of all things motorized, the vixen of vehicles, the hot mama of horsepower, the syndicated car coach who puts the pedal to the metal, Lauren Fix. And Lauren, I know that we've had this debate. We're going to settle it here right now. And I know that you know my love of the Charger, and I know your love of the Ford Mustang. And quite frankly, if we're going to talk about the Mustang, we have to show at least a little bit of the movie Bullitt, starring Steve McQueen. Go ahead, guys. Let's roll it while we're talking here, because let's make sure that everybody sees exactly what we're talking about here. The Great Chase, which was against a 68 Dodge Charger, not a 69, which is the only reason why Steve McQueen was able to catch him in the Mustang. Okay, Lauren, I give you your points.
Oh, no. See, the Ford GT that won at Le Mans this weekend, double thumbs up. Sorry there. That Ford wins hands down on that.
Okay, look, okay. You just like it because McQueen was a hot guy. I get it. It's all right. I get it.
He was. Yeah, that's true.
Hot guy. And
true.
And he drove a hell of a car, too, because he did all his own stunts in that movie. Drove that Mustang the entire time.
He was a race car driver. That's why.
There he was. And damn, he was good at it, too. All right.
Yes, he was.
We didn't settle the debate, everybody, so I guess we have to go ahead and start getting serious. And unfortunately, we do have to get serious here with a tragedy that happened this week. Anton Yelchin, who is the young actor who starred in the Star Trek movie series, a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the gear shifter, apparently, Lauren, it was in neutral. It rolled, and it pinned him up against a mailbox in his gate, and it killed him. Now, Jeep had issued a callback on this, but why did it take so long? Why? This is a 2015 vehicle. Shouldn't it be better made than this?
Well, I think what happens, they came up with a new transmission, and then you see that a lot in the German cars where they have the forward or reverse, and you kind of slide it and pop it into which way you want to go. Well, I guess what happens is a lot of times people aren't familiar with these, and what's happening is they're not in park. They think they're in park. They think they pushed it forward because remember, it's park, reverse, neutral, drive. So he may have thought he put it in park, and it may have either been in reverse or neutral. They're still investigating that. However, it was down a hill. And if you're going to let the car remain running, put on the parking brake, please. And unfortunately, it looks like he got pinned from behind when he was getting his mail out of his mailbox. This has happened. There's been over 400 injuries. Chrysler has a full recall. It has become a probe with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. If you own a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee or a Chrysler 300 with this transmission, please pull out your owner's manual and read the directions. And if you're in doubt, use the parking brake, please.
I hate to say this at a situation like this because it's a tragedy that somebody gets killed like this.
It's horrible.
But this was a shifter recall from Fiat Chrysler back in April. How is the general public, how is the consumer supposed to know? Because a lot of times they don't know about these. I mean, it is a responsibility issue, but quite often I've had vehicles that I didn't know had a recall on them for a year.
Oh, I've got vehicles that are on recall for airbags, and I'm still waiting for airbags to come in. So the problem is either you take it to the dealer, and the dealer says, hey, you've got a recall, Ed, so we'll either give you another vehicle and fix it, or we'll just fix it. The problem is this didn't get a notification out until April, and they don't even have replacement parts until the end of the year. And so when you're looking at 800,000 vehicles in total, that's a lot. And in 2016, you know what they did? They went back to the old gated shifter. So that tells me there's a serious problem. So if you do have one of these vehicles, this is going to lead to a recall, especially with one death involved now.
And it wouldn't help either with the internet here. If you have a vehicle, you have a newer vehicle, get online every now and then. Check recalls. Find out what's happening. At least
easy to do.
Okay, where would somebody go? If they wanted to find recalls on vehicles, would they go to their dealer? Is there a website they can go to that you know of?
Three things. One, you can go to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which is safercar.gov. Number two, you can call the dealer, ask for the service department, say, hey, do I have any recalls? They're going to need your vehicle identification number, known as a VIN number. Or the third way is you just put in the year, make, and model of your vehicle, then put in these 3 letters, TSB. That's Technical Service Bulletin, or the word recall. And whatever comes up, if it applies to your vehicle, then you call the dealer and say, I need to get my vehicle fixed. And many of these airbags have been overlooked. People forget totally about this. They forget totally about the ignition switch, and there are deaths involved. These are really serious situations, and it's your vehicle, and you need to be wise and responsible.
Let's talk about self-driving cars here, because I found this interesting. BMW is trying to get partners. Matter of fact, they're buying up all these little companies and software companies because they want to be the ones who will create the first brain, the working brain of the self-driving car. How much of a competition is this? Because it's got to be more than BMW out there trying to be the ones and get the patent.
Oh, absolutely. You got Audi out there who's been doing autonomous cars since 2009. Mercedes is investing a ton of money. VW Group, remember, VW Group is not just Volkswagen. It is also Audi, Seat, Skoda, Bentley, Lamborghini, Ducati. So there's a lot of brands, and Porsche under that window. So the Germans have put a consortium together. They purchased a company called HERE, H-E-R-E, and that's the new map app they're going to be using. And they're really trying to get it so intuitive that all those little surprises and unexpected situations that you and I see every day on the road, and we go, oh, I get it, I know what to do, that this car will be so smart, their vehicles will be so smart that they can make these decisions for you. Ford is doing it, GM, everyone's buying, they all want to be the first.
Let's grab a couple calls here, 1-877-Newsmax. Joe joins us in Boston, Massachusetts. Joe, you think self-driving cars are a bad idea. Why?
Very bad. You have people driving out texting, being killed every day, and now you're driving around in this 2,000-pound machine while you're reading the newspaper, and then a tractor trailer goes to a red light. And, these cars that they're trying to design will never work. I don't believe that a car can actually get you down the road without getting you killed.
Well, let's get to that, Lauren. The cars will work. They've been proven before. They're being tested all around the world. But still, what Joe says is the point that I think you and I have made many times. Just because you have a self-driving car doesn't mean that you as the passenger can sit back, relax, put the blinders on, and go to sleep, because you are still in a moving vehicle that could be doing 70, 80 miles an hour under autonomous control. You've still got to be part of the drive.
Right, and that's what they're saying in California. There has to be a steering wheel and pedals, and everything has to be as a regular vehicle, and they want you to be engaged. Here's what's going to happen. Human nature will do this. I'm going to read the newspaper, shave, put on makeup, whatever you're going to do, and you're not going to pay attention.
Wait a minute, they do that already. I mean, we do that already in a car.
Exactly, that's why Joe's correct. And so this is what really concerns me is people already don't pay attention, and they're going to assume that the car's going to know. And then we've got this other thing, the lack of government regulation and insurance regulations, and boy, are they going to make it expensive.
They will.
And I think it's going to be a very few of them out there, and they think by 2020 they're going to be, everybody's going to have one. I don't want one. If I want to be driven, I'll call a cab.
There you go. Elijah in Salt Lake City, Utah joins us on the hard line. 30 seconds, your take on self-driving cars.
I think they're dangerous. What if
And that would be very painful, as a matter of fact. We should also point out that what you and I have said is that the insurance companies are going to come in here. The insurance companies, they're the ones right now that don't want this. I mean, they're fighting against this because, quite frankly, it's going to hurt their bottom line.
Right, and you think about the insurance regulations are thinking, well, we can charge more for those people that are getting autonomous cars, which they will. The government regulations are going to make it very expensive, and now we have a problem where the consumers already don't feel comfortable with cars driving themselves. And how we know that is these self-parking cars. You've seen that. Mercedes has it, Ford has it. A lot of them have the self-parking. People don't use them. They buy it. They think it's really cool. They want to show their friends once, but typically they don't. And so that's what the problem is. The usage of it, even though they buy it, is very low. Although
I will tell you this much, though. There are certain people that I pass on the road, and you do it as well as I do, that I think should have a self-driving car. They should be buckled in a 9-point harness. Don't allow their hands to move whatsoever. Sit them in there, shut up, and take the car. I think that would be better, and it'd save a whole lot of problems.
There's a lot of distractions in this world, and they're not just the cell phone, and they're not just eating, there's literally distractions everywhere. Every road sign could be a distraction for some people.
For the people who, quite frankly, shouldn't be driving in the first place. Learn more about this and a whole lot more about everything automotive. Go to laurenfix.com. We heartily recommend it. Check her out, and she will join us here weekly on the Hardline. Take care, darling. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Rock on, true believers. See you right back here on the Hardline. Good night and good luck.